One of my subscribers from Britain has asked me a very interesting question on why is it that when they change the prime minister, the country remains the same. Like it doesn't feel like voting works. And that's a very interesting question because I've heard it asked a lot of times, especially online. And it's, you vote for a new guy, why don't things change? And to answer this is that people need to stop thinking about voting like you're going to McDonald's and you're ordering something and that's what you're getting. It's more like being on a ship and there's an entire crew of people. There's an entire group of people and the passengers. And voting just means you change the captain, right? And the captain, like, he can have influence. He can tell the officers what to do. But, like, if the officers refuse to listen to him, or if the officers are performing malicious compliance, or they simply do not want to follow the orders, then what happens is that the captain will start negotiating with the officers. Like, he will try to persuade them, but it would still not work, right? And so when you're on a ship, the real power is not necessarily the captain. The real power is actually the officers enforcing the order, the guy managing the helm, the navigator, and everyone else, right? Like the captain is just a man and he's only effective as long as everyone else listens to him. So people need to stop thinking about democracy like only the president or only the prime minister. In reality, it's an entire machine. And if you want to change culture, you have to change the machine. And this is the important word. It's culture. And the question is like, what creates culture? What exactly does, like when does culture shift, right? Because we notice that the culture we live in now is not the same like before. And so there was a shift. What caused it? And many people, they believe, well, it's video games, movies, TV shows, books. If only we would have banned more. Razor Fist is part of this ideology. Like, if only we could have banned more from the previous generation, if only we were more strict, then culture would have shifted. That's not what would cause a shift in culture. That's just what would cause a resentment and make the previous generation even more curious to search things, right? Because right-wingers were also banned during the Jack Dorsey era on Twitter, and that did not help the left manage to win the culture war, right? Like, the left used to have massive dominion over culture, and despite all that, there are still right-wingers. So what exactly causes a cultural shift? Well, let's look at the United States, for example, because I know the situation there much better than I know it in Britain. But what do kids learn at school? About history, for example. Hitler, right? Like, that's probably one of the first things that kids learn at school. They learn about Hitler. Then they learn about the civil rights movement. Then they learn about women fighting for their right to vote, right? Like, the history that's presented is like the land of milk and honey is already here. Like, the perfect world is here. But there are a group of people that are gatekeepers, and they're just preventing humanity from achieving its potential by excluding people from the table. And so the moment that women get their vote and gay people get to be up there and black people get to be up there, now humanity finally has like the whole group of people in order to, I guess, go to the stars like we see in Star Trek, right? Like, diversity is the strength. By including everyone, right? By making sure that everybody is in it together and we make sure that we don't have any more gatekeepers, like, we finally can accomplish pretty much everything. Like, we can become gods. And so when you look at the way history is presented, is that the straight white man is the devil, like he is the gatekeeper, he prevents other people. And throughout history, other people fight the white man in order to get more rights, in order to get a seat at the table. And that's what they teach in America, right? I don't know what they teach in the UK. But what I do know is that I went to a couple of London museums. And you have, for example, the exhibit for the aeronautics industry, right? Like the beginning of how airplanes were discovered, how who collaborated, and there's like a big thing that's written behind, and it says black people and brown people were excluded from the industry. And then you have like another exhibit which shows the steam engine, and there's like a big plaque behind showing that the guy had slaves. Um, you can understand why a kid that doesn't know nothing about human history, like he's just learning, right? Like he's just beginning his life journey, and every single person that he trusts is providing him one narrative, and the narrative is that everybody could have done it, but like the straight white man was the oppressor. And once the straight white man is out of the way, then we can finally, bring all the heads together. And it's not just like museums and schools. Like when you look at the press, recently, for example, they want to send another spaceship to the moon, right? And journalists were like, "Oh, why are so many white people? Where's the diversity? Why aren't we sending black people?" Like again, right? Like that is the narrative that people are being presented. And these people like sincerely believe in it. It's not like they know better and pretend not to, although like some may be, but like the overwhelming amount of people like genuinely, sincerely believe in this. And so these people are the ones that are part of culture, right? So like you're not fighting against the government, you're fighting against your own people that sincerely believe this. And then the question comes, well, how did it get to this point, right? Like, is it a conspiracy theory? The answer is that, well, actually, right-wingers did try censorship. They did try banning. The problem with banning is that it doesn't always work, right? Like, if you, I looked at Razor Fist, he was perking out about Sailor Moon promoting LGBT agenda. Because it got, like, Sailor Mars and Sailor Venus, like some of that nonsense. And I think, like, okay, let's say you ban it, right? Like, you don't allow children to watch Sailor Moon. What happens? It's like, well, the children are going to be curious, and now they do want to watch Sailor Moon because all the cool kids watch Sailor Moon. And then what happens is that they watch Sailor Moon and they don't understand the problem. They see, well, it's a show about Tsukina Usagi, like she's in love with Mamoru. Like, what does it have to do with lesbian? Like, no, I think like my dad. I think my dad is provincial, he's out of touch, and he is cruel. And that is literally the ideology that the left feeds on. That is literally how they go after your kids. That is how they created the hippie movement. That is how they get communism. They need that foster of hatred and spite. They need the child that thinks his parents are cruel, so that the left can come on and offer the child liberation and a different narrative, a different story, right? And so the right tried to censor, and the left literally made the apparatus to capture the young people with things that are fun. Slasher films, black metal, free speech, like all of these things that would get kids to be like, yeah, my parents don't like these things because my parents are provincial, they're wrong, and my parents are cruel. Like, they enjoy censorship, right? Like, they know that I'm upset when they censor for me, and they do it because they like making me upset. And I'm telling you this after studying leftist ideology and leftist thought. This is literally the whole mechanism, right? Like, leftism requires the censorship to function. It thrives under censorship. And so censoring books doesn't work. Now, what the left also did is they spent money, right? Like, usually politics is something that I have to agree with the Supreme Court in the US. It's financial, right? So, like, if you invest money in something, you get something. And so when the left started investing money and buying up journalistic outlets, when they started buying up entertainment companies, when they started co-opting institutions, they invested a lot of cash, and now they're reaping the rewards. A right-winger back in the day would have looked at an institution and he would have condemned it. What right-wingers do a lot, they condemn. I disavow, this is grotesque, this is icky, I don't like it, right? Leftists don't do that. Leftists, they do condemn, but they also offer a solution. Hire our consultants. Put me in charge, right? They infiltrate the company from within. And then the company starts promoting leftist talking points, right? So the reason the schools, the museums, like everything is like that is because the left has invested a lot of money into making it like that. Right-wingers haven't invested money in museums, in schools, in other things, right? And so, like, what do you expect? Like, if you don't invest and someone else invests, how can you expect to reap the rewards? Like, that would be unfair. And so, in order to change the culture, you need to actually spend time with your children. You need to actually educate them, right? And you don't censor. You allow them to hear the dissenting point of view. And then you give them alternatives. Like, okay, you don't want your kids to watch Sailor Moon. That's fine. You know, like if you're Razor Fist and you think that Sailor Moon is homosexual propaganda, okay, replace it with something else. Like you need to provide an alternative. Make them watch Stargate or something that you like. And also accept that the child is not a robot to be shaped in whatever you like. Because if that's your attitude, you're not going to get that, right? Like human beings are machines. You're not your father. Your father is not your grandfather, right? So you need to accept that your child is a human being. And no matter what you do, you're never going to get like the perfect child. You're going to get like the best that you can do is that when you die, you can at least think that you did everything possible to set him on the right path, but you will never have like a little robot, okay? And so no matter how much you want your kid not to watch Sailor Moon, if he wants to watch Sailor Moon, let him watch Sailor Moon, right? Like, it makes you feel more secure. The idea of like viewing that you failed if your kid watches something that you don't like shows a deep level of insecurity, and kids can smell that, right? And so they will find you weak. A secure person is like, yeah, you can be like cringing, rolling your eye, you know, say, oh, you're watching this again. But again, like, don't expect that he will just do everything you say and everything you plan. But still, the very fact that you would have a conversation with your kid and the very fact that you would tell him about, you know, like the contribution of the English Empire to end slavery, what communism is, the horrors of communism, why it doesn't work, you are arming him with a lot more than most kids get. And if most parents do this, then you're more likely to change the culture than any other tactic, right? Because you're basically vaccinating and indoctrinating your children against a very harmful ideology that requires your children in order to perpetuate itself. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.